subscribers. A very good evening, all of you children. Welcome again. So today we're going to basically discuss about, the surgical method of birth control. And you know, as we are discussing about how do organisms reproduce, we are on the end of this chapter. Yes, today is the last day of this chapter. Next week, we're going to start with the heredity, and this is the last concept. Yes, so children, as you know, we have already completed your approximately 3 chapters, which is very lengthy. Life processes, the control and coordination, and of course, how do organisms reproduce. If you have missed any session, if you couldn't attend any session, there's always the past Embibe classes on your dashboard. You can watch it whenever you have time. But I would request you to please always join us for the live session so that we could have interaction and you could ask so as many as questions you want, and I am here to explain you everything. So yes, children, before we start, let me introduce you to myself once again. I am Anam. I'll be your biology expert, and like we have been discussing all the amazing and interesting topics related to biology, we're going to discuss in future also. Yes, I will try as soon as possible within the December month to complete your syllabus so that we could have lots and lots of, yes, we're going to basically talk about lots and lots of revision and practice sessions. Yes, Ruchita, I do remember your question, my child, but just wait. We're going to basically end this session. Yes, we're going to basically complete this chapter, and as soon we're going to start with the heredity. Just that you know the concept before you solve the question. I need to explain you the concept. Yes, if I'm going to directly solve the question, it is not going to do any benefit to you. First, understand the concept related to it. Then we're going to solve that question. That question is with me. Do not worry. We're going to basically solve that question. But before, I have to explain you the concept related to it. Until unless you know about the concept, you won't be able to solve questions. Yes, let's start the surgical techniques or birth control. The very first thing, children, the topics to be covered under this chapter is related to introduction to reproduction in organisms, reproduction, modes of reproduction in lower organisms, sexual reproduction and reproductive health in detail. We're going to basically discuss. Today is the last concept related to reproductive health. Yes, next we have topic which is reproductive health right now going on, and today we're going to discuss about the surgical method, the surgical technique of birth control. Yes, how surgically we're going to basically control, we're going to basically avoid the contraception. There are 2 things we're going to basically discuss about, yes, in the male and the respective female reproductive system. One is the vasectomy, the other is the tubectomy. We're going to basically discuss about these 2 surgical methods. But before that, I would like to ask you, have you done your pre-class activities or not? Yes, have you attempted your pre-class activities? Daily, each and every day, I ask you children to please go and attempt your pre-class activities, and after the session ends, there is always past Embibe assignment to you. This is not for me, this is for your benefit only. It's going to benefit you to understand the particular concept related to every particular topic. If you're going to solve as much as question you could, it's going to basically everything, every concept, सारे के सारे कॉन्सेप्ट इस तरह से याद नहीं होते हैं कि रट्टा मार लिया बिल्कुल एकदम. कॉन्सेप्ट डीपली इनग्रेव्ड हो जाएंगे दिमाग में अगर उससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेते हो. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन भी नहीं सॉल्व कर पाओगे अगर कॉन्सेप्ट पता नहीं होगा, और कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत अच्छे से दिमाग में रखना है, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल दिमाग के अंदर एकदम ऐसे इनग्रेव्ड कर देना है बिल्कुल. यस, तो दिस इज द ओनली मेथड कि भाई एकदम कॉन्सेप्ट को डीपली थॉरली स्टडी करो और उससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस करो सारे के सारे. दिस इज द ओनली सोल वे टू बेसिकली कीप रिमेंबरिंग द थिंग्स. सिर्फ रट्टा मारने से कुछ टाइम तक तो याद रहेगा, फिर उड़ जाएगा दिमाग से. येस, बट वी डोंट हैव टू डू दैट. वी हैव टू बेसिकली go logically according to the different concept. We have to solve different question. But as you know the ritual, children, what we do, we're going to basically see what we have studied in the previous session. Previous session was all about the sexually transmitted disease. Yes, yesterday we had the discussing about the sexually transmitted disease, the diseases which are happening due to the bacteria as a pathogen, virus as a pathogen, yes, parasite, and of course the other fungi. Yes, all these particulars are the causative agent of the sexually transmitted diseases, and due to certain diseases a lot of people die because of lack of awareness. Yes, and none of the contraceptives other than the mechanical barrier, the physical barrier is going to basically avoid the sexually transmitted diseases. Yes, we have discussed everything related to STDs. If you have missed this session, you can go and watch it out. If there is any particular point which was not clear to you, you can just come back and ask questions to me. Yes, we're going to basically talk about it. Let's start our today's session, which is related to surgical method. This session going to be a short session, children, because this is the last concept of this particular chapter. Yes, we have already completed every particular concept. I have kept individual sessions for each and every concept. Yes, children, you know that, okay? It might not be that elaborative in your NCERT, but we have had a very elaborate discussion regarding everything. Yes or no? I know this is what we do when we were discussing about the control and coordination also, when we're discussing about the life process also. If I'm going to go according to your NCERT, this session is going to be just within a month, the syllabus will be over. But we have, in the couple of months, we have done everything. We have gone through each and every concept so thoroughly so that you understand each and everything really, really well. I have used so many interactive slides, so many 3D assets, everything to understand you what exactly different particular topic, what are different particular concepts in detail. Yes, so children, today the session is the last session of the how do organisms reproduce, and soon next session have been already scheduled on your Embibe app. Yes, I know all the sessions are visible. वो 4 बजे अगर लिखा हुआ है तो वो 4 बजे का session है, children, on heredity, and the session would be totally related to heredity, and we're going to have a long session. Yes, I'll try to complete your syllabus as soon as possible, or we're going to have detailed discussion about it. Yes, it's not going to be a short session, it's going to be a long session, and we're going to basically discuss everything. Yes, लंबे session करेंगे और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा we're going to basically cover in one session. So let's start our today's session related to the surgical methods of contraception. So children, as you know, as we talk about these surgeries, during World War II, a medical procedure to prevent reproduction was performed in 3,20,000 men without their consent. Yes, children, the very first thing I want to tell you, this surgical method is not reversible. You cannot reverse this method. Yes, during the World War II, just to prevent the reproduction to take place, 3,20,000 men was under this procedure without this consent, which is very strange, and it is irreversible. It cannot be reversed under any circumstances. What exactly the surgical process is of the contraception? As you talk about, in the males, there is a vasectomy. Since we have studied about the male reproductive system in detail, and as you know, there is this, yes, these are the parts of the respective male reproductive system. There is, of course, the vas deferens, prostate gland, scrotum, erectile tissue, everything is basically there in this. So what we do in the vasectomy is a surgical method in the males to basically stop the method of contraception. Yes, so children, in this basically what happens, it's a surgical method. Again, it is totally done under medical supervision, under medical guidance, and by the medical practitioner. Okay, it is not done at home, it is typically under every medical supervision. Yes, a surgical method of birth control performed in men. What does it do? The vasectomy prevents sperm cell from getting to the urethra by isolating the vas deferens. What happens? As you know, children, there is a vas deferens, yes, which contains your seminal fluid, yes, which contains your male gamete. So, in the vasectomy, in the surgical method which is being done on the male reproductive system, what we do, basically it prevents, this procedure prevents the sperm cells, the male gametes, yes, the male gametes, which is absolutely necessary for the fertilization, from getting to urethra. Urethra, as you know, is a common passage for the both seminal fluid and of course the urine. Yes, it is isolating the urethra by isolating the vas deferens. So this is how the vasectomy is performed. Let's select the vas deferens and see what happens. As we select the vas deferens, so children, local anesthesia, we're going to basically, how this procedure is known, an anesthesia that affects only a defined area. Local anesthesia, you know, sun kar dena, simple. So before performing this procedure, a local anesthesia is basically applied. A vast difference are cut and sealed, and sperm cells are still produced, but they are reabsorbed by the body. A vasectomy takes about 30 minutes and the patient can walk home. So children, during this procedure, what happens? When the vasectomy is happening, the vast difference, yes, the vast difference are cut. Yes, as they are pouring the male gametes inside the urethra, it is being cut and tied. Yes, they are cut and tied or sealed so that the male gametes do not go to the urethra and cannot basically move out. What happens to the male gamete? It is being reabsorbed by the system. It is going to be reabsorbed by the body, and the whole procedure, the whole surgical procedure of cutting the vas deferens takes about 30 minutes, and after this procedure, a particular patient can walk home easily. Yes, this is what is the surgical procedure is being performed on the male reproductive system. The vas deferens has been cut, sealed, yes, and which does not allow the sperm to pass on to the urethra, and basically the whole swans are being reabsorbed by the body. Yes, this is what you known as vas deferens. Vasectomy, please remember, the vas deferens means vasectomy, and it is going to be performed on the male reproductive system. Yes, this is what is the procedure of the vasectomy. This is what the surgical procedure of contraception. Once again, this procedure will not be reversed. This is irreversible procedure. As we move forward talking about it, next we have select the organ where you have to cut in the vasectomy. According to you, which particular part of the male reproductive system would be cut during the vasectomy to take place? Yes, which part of the male reproductive system would be cut so that the vasectomy could take place? Yes, quickly. Come on, answer this. Yes, the correct answer would be the vas deferens would be cut and tied so that the sperm cells, the male gametes, do not go through the urethra. Next, what we have? So, what changes? Again, the other surgical procedure which takes place in the female, what changes are made in the female reproductive system to control the birth? Yes, just like the vasectomy is basically happening in the male reproductive system, there is another surgical procedure which takes place in the female reproductive system to avoid the contraception. Let's talk about that. Next, what we think. So, children, what do you think in the world's most commonly used contraceptives? This is more than 2.219 million women has undergone tubectomy. Yes, this is the most widely accepted method of contraception because this is a permanent contraception without any certain side effects. Yes, and 2.219, not 2.9, 219 million women have undergone the procedure of tubectomy. Yes, let's see what is this procedure, what exactly happens to the female reproductive system so that this particular surgical method of contraception. As we talk about this, as you know children, this is your fallopian tubes. These are your fallopian tubes. As you can easily say what happens in the tubectomy. Again, the surgical sterilization method for women. Sterilize means not able to reproduce anymore. Yes, there would be surgical sterilization. It prevents egg cell from reaching the sperms and isolating the fallopian tubes. A surgical sterilization method for women prevents egg cell from reaching the sperm by isolating the fallopian tube. All of you, we have discussed about it. The ovulation, we have discussed about it. As you know, the ovaries, they basically, when they ovulate, when they basically make a egg cell, it is reaching to the fallopian tubes where the fusion of male and gametes takes place. Yes, where the egg cell is being formed. What happens in the tubectomy? We cut the fallopian tubes. We are going to basically cut the fallopian tubes and tie them so that after the ovulation has taken place, it does not reach to the fallopian tube. Even if it's reaching, the male gamete will not be able to come in contact with the egg cell. There would be no fusion of gametes. Yes, we prevent egg cells from reaching the sperms by isolating the fallopian tube. Egg cells are still produced again, but their body reabsorbs it again, just like the male gametes, which is being again produced, but it would be, no, the menstruation will not be happening because of this. There would be normal menstruation will take place. Children, as per we have discussed about the menstruation, it is what? Again, same cycle. There is no fertilization. Again, if there is no fertilization, the layer, basically the layer of the uterus will shed. It is not going to hamper the menstruation. Again, the whole hormones will do according to that. There will be no fertilization because surgical method we have basically tied up the fallopian tubes. The same cycle will go on. Again, what is the reason to remove the uterus lining? It is the unfertilized egg. In here, there is an unfertilized egg already. Yes, and the menstruation will not be hampered because of the tubectomy. It is a normal procedure. It will take place in the body. Yes, okay. So, egg cells which are being produced by the body again will reabsorb it. Yes, the uterus will not remove that layer only if only it will receive the fertilized egg. There is an implantation. But if it's not receiving only, it will basically shed, and this cycle will go and on. Okay, this is here written, no, children, egg cells are still produced. Just like a normal cycle, the egg cells will be still produced and the body will reabsorb it. Yes, this happens in the tubectomy. We cut and tie the fallopian tubes. As we move forward, next we have tubectomy procedure. What? It's a very exactly similar procedure. This, and as you can see, the fallopian tubes are being cut. Yes, by giving anesthesia. Of course, this is typically under the medical supervision, under the medical guidance. Again, this is how the fallopian tubes are cut and they will be tied. As you can see over here, general and local anesthesia is applied. The fallopian tubes are cut at each end and then sealed. The surgery takes about 30 to 60 minutes and the recovery is painful and slow. But unlike the males, where the recovery is very fast and the patient can walk in 30 minutes, in case of females, it's not like that. Since, as you know, basically, the surgery is basically takes about 1 hour, but the healing process, the recovery process is slow and it is going to be taking time in the females. They might be put on certain medication. Yes, so children, this happens in the tubectomy procedure. Yes, any questions related to it? Any questions related to it? Yes, moving forward, next we have a question. In which organ should the surgical scissors cut in a tubectomy? Yes, in which organ, in which part of this the surgical scissor cut as in tubectomy? Yes, quickly. What would be the correct answer? In which organ should the surgical scissor cut in a tubectomy? Yes? Is there any part which is not clear to you? You can ask question, children. Yes? Is there anything which is not clear to you? The correct answer is, of course, the fallopian tubes are being cut and tied, which does not prevent which basically does not let the fusion of gametes takes place. Yes. So yes, this brings to an end of our session also and end of our chapter also. Yes, your how do organisms reproduce is done and dusted. Now once again children, is there any part which was not clear to you? Because after we complete the syllabus, we are going to have lots of revision session also. Yes, since this was a very small, in the beginning only I have told you, this is going to be a small session because this is the last concept it has to be taught. Yes. So children, today we have studied about the surgical method of contraception, which is basically the tubectomy and the vasectomy. How exactly this is being done, I have also discussed about that. Yes, we basically in the vasectomy, what we do, the vast difference has been cut and tied, and in the tubectomy, the fallopian tubes are cut and tied. Yes, so children, this is what we have studied, so that we prevent the, what we do, we prevent the fusion of gametes inside the fallopian tubes, and in the particular males, we basically stop the mixing of the male gamete inside the urethra. Yes. So children, this is what we have studied in this session. Is there anything which was not clear to you, which you want me to repeat again, children? Yes. Everything is clear? So once again, I am telling you, all your sessions have been scheduled. As you will end the session, if you will leave, you can see heredity have been scheduled on your dashboard on the past Embibe classes. Do not miss the session, because quickly we are going to complete the syllabus soon before your board examination. I want you to give all the particular revision sessions, all the particular practice sessions. Yes, children. So this is, so some contraceptives prevent pregnancy and diseases, and this type, as you know, we have talked about it. The physical, the mechanical barriers, they prevent the pregnancy also, and they prevent it from you STDs also. Next we have the Embibe. Okay, I don't know, there's some technical glitch, but children, you know what is this? This is the Embibe Lens app. What you have to do, you have to just scan the text, will highlight all the keywords and will show you everything in the 3D. So please, I request you to always go and explore this amazing app, just like you go and explore the Embibe app. I don't know why it is not coming, this certain issue. You have to log in through your phone number or your email ID. You will get an OTP. Yes, enter that OTP. Go for the home page button. Go for the Embibe live classes and register for the upcoming classes. And you can join us on the Embibe Telegram channel, so you never miss an update regarding anything. We will meet again starting our very new chapter, which is the heredity. Yes, we're going to have long sessions related to that, so that we can basically complete your session, complete your syllabus on time. We will meet again with the next session. Until then, please take care, keep imbibing. Bye-bye.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.